Hello guys, it's me again. Let's demonstrate some oh, what's this? Okay, let me scale it. Let's demonstrate some basic Matlab operations. So on the last video you kind of know how to get a matrix into Matlab and also a vector. I know how to save the workspace and all that. So now we're gonna teach you how to do matrix operations. Say if you have a 3 by 3 matrix, something like I just type in some random number here. Okay, this one. So now you want to find the determinant of this matrix. You know, it's kind of a drag when you try to do it by hand, but in Matlab, all you need to do is det A. Okay. So you see, I didn't specify the det A equals to something. I don't give a name to it. So automatically Matlab use this default ANS, ANSYS results equals to 3. So I can also do like B equals to det A. Then do that. And if you still recall, I can just get rid of the output by adding a semicolon. And yeah, so now I have A and B, and I'm just gonna delete this extra file. The variables in here, I mean, they are available for you to use anytime, but you don't have to use them. I mean, then the next thing I wanted to kind of introduce is to find the inverse of A. So basically, if we have like A inv equals to, or I mean, I don't need a fancy name, like A1 equals to inverse of A, that will give me A inverse. So if you still recall what you learned from differential equations, the inverse of A is basically something like that. So say if you have a vector, we just call it V equals to 2, 2, 3, and 2. Okay, so if A times V, we say that's maybe C, we call it. Okay, C is something like that. So the inverse of A times C will give you V. See the comparison? This is V. The inversion of a square matrix is often used when you have to solve for a linear equation system, which is exactly what we're going to do here. So that's pretty important, but fortunately it is very straightforward. So basically just inverse of A. Some useful information, for example, so you have a V here, 232, and you want to change, maybe you don't like that 3, you want to change it to 0. Basically what you would do is that you would do V 3 is in fact the number, the second row, first column, so V2 1, then you see you want to change it to 0, so you just input this, tell the 2 1 element of V to be 0 without specifying others will remain the same. So if you do that, you see V equals to that, and you can see here the V, the value has changed. The same thing applies to matrix. So you have A, and let's say that you really want to make the uh, this one, make it 0, so you have to just A, second row, third column equals 0. Okay, now it's 0. And Matlab provides you a good way to not only modify them individually. Say if you, let's clear this. Okay, so A is like something like that. Say if you want to make the entire second column to be 0. So what you can do is that you can do A, and you just use a this one. So basically you're saying I want everything from 1 to 3, and then I want the second column to be 0. You do it, then you see 2, 3, 2, they becomes 0. Same thing, you can do the rows. So you want to do the third row, or yes, let's do the first row. You want to just get rid of that and make them all become 1. Then basically you know the row number 1. You want to apply that to all the columns. So you want them to be 1. Here you go. That's all 1. Also, when you want to just make maybe this one and this one to be let me see, 100. What you can do is that you just keep using this type of operation. You know it's first row, and it's from the second to the third. You want that to be 100. Then it becomes that. Okay. In fact, there's not much else to talk about. That's pretty much all you need for going through this class. You might need something more, but we'll get to it. If you are familiar with those type of operations, I think you're in pretty good shape. So let's clear that and then introduce another function, which is called empty matrix generation. So what can you do if you want to generate a 10 by 10 matrix full of zeros? Matlab has a function which will generate that for you, so that you don't have to type in 100 zeros. Basically, you can do maybe we'll call it A again, equals to ones. You put your row. You see here, if it's a function that Matlab recognized, it will kind of give you a list of options for input, and you can also just click and then for help. We'll get to that, but so 10 by 10. You see, this one will give you a 10 by 10 matrix of ones, just like it is said here. But what we really want is a whole bunch of zeros, so we basically just A equals to A times 0. If you have been taking a programming class like C++ or BASIC, you know that this operation you are kind of assign with the same name, then it just override it. So basically you just get a whole bunch of zeros. I think that's pretty much all you need for now. So we're still have, well, it's almost 10 minutes. So that's it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching the show.